Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Christopher Curtis Bowen, on this evening edition of the Christopher Bowen Show. And this is a very amazing adventure as we continue to accelerate onto the frontier, which, believe it or not, for some reason, in my head, as of today, I think I'm still at the frontier. Which can mean many things, but the truth is, I know within me is the the chamber of divine magic. And within me is also the capability to create multi-creationistical realms. I know within me there's an inner reality that I'm able to manifest. And that inner reality is getting stronger. Or that, well, what I realize is my ability to manifest is getting stronger. And I am discovering more and more about this inner world. It is becoming more of me. It's the strongest way I can say it. And so, just in general, I encourage to having higher vibrations, energy within the self. I have my connection to my higher self, and connecting to ultimately just finding out for certain and just knowing for certain that I know how to create the reality I want, and then just knowing for certain that I know how to create and be in tune with the vibration that I want, and just knowing what that vibration of joy feels like, and also just anchoring to the heart. But I'm not gonna lie, that came from another external source, and actually leading back all the way to the I don't know how to pronounce it. The eternal sphere of the Universal Father. Wait, no, that's not how you pronounce it. No. Well, eternal spheres, there's 7. So I just know that for a fact. And the truth is, I definitely know the different connections between those, and I also know that there's a very strong electromagnetic connection in my heart. And the thing is, I don't think I need to say that out loud. But I'm also basing the fact that I don't think I need to say that out loud based upon the fact of what was already interesting. I'm not even going to finish that thought. So, I really want to get into the many multi-creationistical fun aspects that are just in the joyous things that I like to do. And I'm not gonna lie, I broke it. It's incredible to break it down and to actually have the the creator level events, and those are really big, and those get a lot of attention, and those are really cool. We'll probably keep doing those, but I also want to I want to add more things. So we'll probably have more fun with one thing that I also want to absolutely create, and I want to use the proper terms, but manifest, I almost want to say cement, but that's probably too literal, because everything's changing. I mean, I think that's the best way to say it. Everything is changing. And I want to be absolutely true with that statement, because it is true. And there's just examples I can give about it, and that's one of the greatest things that can happen. I would say in the here and now, but I also want to say the higher dimensions, because those aspects are all a part of us. So, one of the cool things that actually is pretty unique that I find out that I actually think is suggestible and actually works is to actually create. I can't believe I'm saying this. No, actually, I'm not going to say that. That's. But I might as well lead by example. The previous episode, the earlier episode, was about leading by example, and then that's how pretty much the climb is going to be to the connection of connectiveness, which I'm going to get into for the fifth dimension. But specifically, the thing I want to talk about is specifically wow, I actually don't remember what I was going to say. Well, all I know is that the important parts are, like, just the fifth dimension is that everything's going to change, and I really should get into the point of why that's so vital, because I do want to say that it is true that perhaps and all this is going to make sense somehow, but that there is a connection between all of us, and we're actually getting that out as soon as possible. And, once again, I'm going to give a shout out to, even though, I think the higher vibration is already present in most beings, but still, or in all beings, but still. I want to say there's a oneness connection that's even more radiant. Well, I'm going to say it's very radiant, coming from the inner earth and coming from those highly advanced spiritual beings, and coming from here on the surface, highly advanced spiritual beings, and that the communication is actually happening really fast, and there's actually a lot of activity happening on Earth, and how it's Earth is kind of like a focal point, but the focal point isn't necessarily Earth, I want to say, or Gaia. Or even though the focal point is Gaia, I want to say the focal point is Gaia because my focus is Gaia, or my focus is the planet, or is the planetary, and that's the thing. Is this just a planetary level, once again, event? And, that's the thing as well, I'm also recognizing that I just stated it's a creator level event, and I didn't say where it was. I mean, when I was thinking like location at the time, I was thinking, oh well, the location will just be here. But even then, here could be still 50th dimension and beyond. And so that's the thing, we just gotta, I always say that I'm just always in the higher dimensions. I'm always in the fifth dimension because I'm picking up on more synchronicities and more really cool, heart-pinging vibrations connecting me to just higher vibrational joy realities. Well, the point I'm getting at is that, like, the cool abilities really exist and they're really out there, and I'm evidence for it, and it's definitely possible to reach into the future, and that's perfect evidence because there's many different sources that I could talk about that could go into that, and it'd be great for that to happen. What I mean to say is, like, it is great for that to happen. But more importantly, what I'm getting at is what is within is incredibly vital and incredibly amazing and brilliant. And perfection. And to have love within, I feel like is a very powerful thing. To recognize, to remember, and to be love incarnate, and to really become that which we are. The I am, the I am. Like, I am that I am. Being the I am. Being the I am. So, more specifically though, even though I'm all about, because here's one thing I've noticed. I've noticed without a doubt, and it's because, in my mind I mentioned this, and I brought this up, but not only are my dreams getting stronger, and I'm getting a stronger connection to my dreams and like my awakeness, my alertness. But that's also happening in reality. I'm recognizing my sphere, and I seem to notice I notice the energy around me more. But it's really just what's in my field per se. It's a very weird way to say it, to explain it, but that's the best description that I'll give now, and I can give it an even better one in the future. So, specifically, one of the things that are really major, that's important for us to know, for all of us to know, is, well, I wanted to focus on something and every time I focus on it, I recognize the forgiveness, and I recognize forgiveness in multiple layers. But first of all, I think that one of the things I mentioned on the previous podcast was levels, and I do want to say that I definitely want to open up to level 1 of what was stated in the Federation of Light post, which is awesome. And then also want to really be fifth dimensional in the terms of unity, of how important unity is, for how important it is to get out what Zach said on the InfoWars show tonight, Wednesday, about how important it is for us to know the types of and the level of scandal and lies that Google is involved in, the spying that's going on, and just the amount of information and the amount of data, and ultimately, I'm getting really into my team about this. If I was saying, I want to say hypothetically. So hypothetically, if I had a team, I would really get on their case about something that I actually haven't really talked to anybody about. But the fact that, there's a new AI, there's an AI actual, AI had a baby and is teaching the baby. So that's kind of what's going on, that's kind of so when I'm thinking about kind of what, in my head, I'm thinking about how does this all tie in? How does what's happening, for example, between, even though it doesn't really matter, but how does life tie into AI? How do we tie into AI? But what I mean to say is, which is a very amazing, beautiful, which I guess I could use the P word, but puzzle, how does, and actually that's the beauty of love. I just gave them the whole moral of the story. The beauty is love. It's how the globalists tie in together with big tech in Google, and how it ties in together with, America, or specifically, us, America, or me, specifically the American, or an American, coincidentally, no pun intended, and the AI, or just the knowledge of the baby AI. So, it's a big thing. We get to discover love, and this may actually be the most precious love story that ever was. The most precious love story there ever was. And love is magic on its own. So, obviously, the foundation is love, which is why, which is definitely why. It's definitely why I'm the founder of HAA. With lots of love, I love you all. This is a very short broadcast, just 15 minutes, but update on the way. Love you all.